What is going on, guys and gals? My name is Jason. I am a commercial pest control applicator in the great state of Missouri and owner of Love's Pest Professionals. In this video, like the title says, we're going to be talking about how you can get rid of your bed bug problem for under $100. Now, it's important, guys and gals, before we get started with the video, I want to talk about the different type of bed bug customers that we see on the daily. Now, you might be watching this video and you might be in one of these categories, so it's important that you listen up. Now, the first category, we might find somebody who has run into their first bed bug ever and they are just scared to death. They don't want their home to get overran. And they're freaking out. They're like, what can I do? Maybe not at the point where they want to call a commercial applicator, or maybe they have called a commercial applicator and the price for that service just is not doable for them, or they just realize, well, I've only seen a couple of them, I want to take care of it myself. Or maybe you're in the other side of the boat where you have dealt with bed bugs before, or you've had bed bugs in your home for a very long time. Maybe they're in multiple rooms, maybe they've taken over multiple pieces of furniture and you're overran, and you're kind of trying to figure out whether or not you can do it yourself or you should call somebody. Now, if you're in that side of the boat, I would definitely tell you to call a commercial applicator, okay? Get a pest control company out there to service your home, because it is going to be not only a lot of work, but it definitely, at that level, you do need somebody who is a professional in there to be able to service every single piece of furniture you have, be able to service and get in the cracks of the walls, because you are dealing with a heavy infestation if you are at the point where you've had bed bugs for a long time. One thing we have to understand with bed bugs is they do duplicate very quickly, same as the German cockroach, okay? The German cockroach and the bed bug, they have a lot of similarities, and one of the things they do is they are going to duplicate, they are going to multiply very, very quickly. So if you've been sitting on bed bugs for a while, there's a chance that you do have a lot of bed bugs in your home. So I would rather call a commercial pest control applicator instead of trying to DIY it, because it's going to be very difficult for you to be able to get rid of that issue on your own. So definitely call a commercial applicator. Now, if you're somebody who've run into maybe just a couple, you've seen a couple on your bed maybe, or maybe your kid brought home a stuffed animal from school and it had bed bugs, whatever the case may be, I think this video can definitely benefit you, and I do think that you can get rid of your bed bug problem for under $100. Now, guys and gals, there's going to be 4 things that we are going to need to be able to get rid of your bed bug problems. The first one is going to be a pump sprayer. Now, right here, I have a commercial professional B&G pump sprayer. You do not need this pump sprayer. This pump sprayer is probably almost $400 brand new. You can get a 1-gallon pump sprayer from Home Depot, from Lowe's, from Walmart for probably 20 to 30 bucks. That's going to work perfectly for you. But you are going to need some way to spray the pesticide. A 1-gallon pump sprayer would probably be the best. The reason for that, the pesticide that we're going to use actually comes in, it's a 13-ounce bottle, but it makes 1 gallon of finished product. So definitely get a pump sprayer. That's going to be the first thing you need. The second thing you're going to need is proper pesticide. Right here, I have 2 different versions of the same pesticide, Crossfire. I have a ready-to-use aerosol, and I also have the 13-ounce bottle I was talking about. The thing I love about Crossfire is this 13-ounce bottle is going to make 1 gallon of finished product, okay? Probably if you're going to make 1 gallon of finished product, you're not really going to need that whole gallon of finished product, but you're going to buy this 13 ounces. I do not suggest for you to try and make half gallon and try to only pour half of this bottle out or do any of that. Just make the 1 gallon of finished product, use as much as you need, and discard the rest based on what the label is going to tell you how to get rid of it, okay? So this makes 1 gallon of finished product, or you can go the aerosol route. Now, the Crossfire aerosol I really enjoy as well, because you're going to have a good nozzle on here and you need to get to all the cracks and the crevices. But Crossfire is a very, very effective pesticide for bed bugs. There's a couple other pesticides, but this is probably one of the pesticides they're going to use on your home. If you call a commercial applicator, they should bust out the Crossfire or something else that's going to be a lot like it. But this is a pesticide that you can pick up on the open market. I believe you can probably get it from Do-It-Yourself Pest Control, I know for sure, probably Amazon as well, but I'll put a link down below. Crossfire is going to be the next thing you're going to need. Okay, the third thing you're going to need is water. Obviously, you're not just going to spray that 13 ounces. That 13 ounces of actual pesticide is going to mix in your B&G sprayer with water, or whatever sprayer you are using, to make 1 finished gallon of product that is ready to be sprayed and to be used in your home. So you're definitely going to need water. And the fourth thing is something that's very, very important. You are going to need a dryer. Now you might say, Jason, you just said this is going to be for under $100 and I don't have a dryer, and I don't think I can pick a dryer up for under $100 with everything else. You're right. I tell a lot of my customers and clientele when we are doing a pest control service for bed bugs to bag up all of their clothes in the affected room, to bag up all the linens, all the bedding, everything, to bag up their pillows, all of that into big black trash bags and take it to a commercial washer and dryer. You don't even need to wash it if everything is clean. Just run it through the dryer at the highest temperature you possibly can. The reason I like the commercial dryers, they usually get hotter and you can actually dry a lot more stuff at once, and you can pay, you know, $3 to $5 to dry everything and kill all of those bed bugs. If you ever heard of a heat treatment for bed bugs, heat treatment for bed bugs can be effective when the bed bugs actually reach the minimum heat of 122 degrees. Now we know that obviously, a lot of times bed bugs are going to be in the walls, especially if you're dealing with a bad bed bug job, and walls have insulation. So the problem with the heat treatment sometimes is if they're not left on enough and they're not actually penetrating the wall, you know, they're not going to get into that insulation and they're not going to heat the bed bugs up to 122 degrees. But if you have bed bugs, obviously, in your clothes or in your bedding, in your pillows, you throw that in the dryer and you put it on the highest heat possible, it is going to kill the bed bugs that are there. This is a crucial step, guys. I can't tell you how many times we have worked with clients that will not do this step and they still have problems, or problems keep coming back. The pesticide's only going to be as good as the pesticide is. You need to do your due diligence to take your bedding off, to take your pillows, to take everything and dry the heck out of it. You need to do that. So now let's say you have your pump sprayer, you have your pesticide, you have everything you need to get this service done. How do you actually do a service for bed bugs? Now, Crossfire is a really great pesticide. You're going to apply this Crossfire over whatever the affected area is. You have to understand that bed bugs are a lot like German cockroaches, and the fact that they are going to multiply a lot, but they also like to hide. You should really not be able to see a bed bug unless you have a bad infestation. You know, you might say, I'm getting bit at night, but I haven't actually seen any. Well, that's because they are nocturnal. They're living somewhere that you cannot find them. They get deep in the cracks and the crevices. For example, if you're seeing bed bugs on your bed, it's really important for you to flip your bed over, flip up your box spring, and service the entire box spring, getting all the nooks and the crannies with the Crossfire, as well as servicing around your bed. I mean, when I mean service, spraying around your bed, getting in the nooks and crannies of the bed, as well as spraying the baseboards of the home, as well as spraying. I also get up on the kind of the, you could say the eave of the wall, I guess the top of the wall. Any cracks and crevices in the wall you want to be able to spray. Obviously, don't spray the outlets directly. That would definitely be a problem. But any cracks and crevices, you want to get that pesticide in there, because when you have a bad bed bug job, those bed bugs are going to be in the wall. I actually did a bed bug job for a client not too long ago, and they had it was in a double wide, and what had happened was you couldn't really see any bed bugs, but they had kind of this place in the middle of the wall where it had split. It was like two different pieces of wood. It had like a finishing on it, and I pulled back that finishing and it was just caked with bed bugs. I was able to saturate that area really good, and they haven't had any problems since. Those bed bugs are going to you know, live together in a colony. They're going to hunch up together. You're not going to find any stragglers, right? They're going to hunch up together. You get where they're to that affected place, and you're going to be able to service. You're also going to leave a good residual. So even though, like I said, the bed bugs are nocturnal, they're coming out, they're going to come out at night, they're going to pick up this pesticide, and they're going to die. So it's really important to get the base of the wall, to get the top of the wall, to get really inside of your box spring. That is very important. Get inside your box spring, and then also to spray around your bed as well. Very, very important. If you're dealing with something like in a for example, in a piece of furniture, it's always important to flip that piece of furniture over and to really get in the nooks and crannies on the other side, right? A lot of times you'll have that piece of cloth that is making it so you can't get in there. Rip that piece of cloth back, really service in there as good as you possibly can, saturate it really good. Also take down that piece of furniture as much as you can, take off the covers, wash and dry those covers really, really well, and also I always stick my nozzle in the cracks and the crevices in those pieces of furniture to really saturate that as well. They are going to be hiding. They're going to be hiding in these cracks and crevices, and it's important, if we can't get to them, to get to them, and at the very least leave a good residual with the Crossfire, so when they go through that residual, they're going to pick up that pesticide and they're going to die. Now, guys and gals, like we talked about right now, I said you can buy all of this stuff for under $100. So I'm going to actually give you guys some links and show you just some screenshots right now of how much everything is going to cost, and I bet you it's going to be under $100. bucks. But like I said before, guys and gals, if you're somebody dealing with a bad bed bug issue, if you're somebody who has it in multiple rooms, multiple pieces of furniture, I invite you to call a commercial applicator. I think it'll be very beneficial for you to get a professional in there to help you service your home and get it taken care of for you. But if you're somebody who's run into a couple of them, or maybe it's your first time ever seeing one, or whatever the case may be, and you're just scared and you want to get it figured out, and you only see them basically maybe around your bed, this is definitely a way that you can get rid of your bed bugs. Buy the Crossfire. The aerosol is really good as well. Like I said, I like the aerosol because I can stick that nozzle in cracks and crevices, really basically fog out the whole area. You know, get that aerosol deep in there and spray it all around the area, really saturate the area. So when those bed bugs run into that area, they're gonna pick up that pesticide and they're gonna die. But guys and gals, hopefully you're able to learn something from this video, how you can service your own home for bed bugs, how you can get rid of your bed bugs even for under 100 bucks. If you guys enjoyed this video, please think about liking the video, subscribe to the channel as I'll be making a lot more videos, and I hope you all have a great day.